Most people think mass hysteria is something that happened in the past. Witch trials, mob violence, ancient superstitions. We like to believe we're too educated now for that. But in the 1980s, something strange happened in modern America. Thousands of ordinary people became convinced that secret satanic cults were abusing children in hidden underground networks. There were no photographs, no physical evidence, no financial trails, and no verified victims. But there were accusations, lots of them, and they felt real. It began quietly. A few therapists started using a new technique to help patients recover: repressed memories of trauma. The idea was that the mind could bury painful experiences so deeply that people would forget them entirely, and that with the right guidance, those memories could be recovered. But here's the problem. The human mind doesn't retrieve memories like a file. It reconstructs them. And when therapists asked leading questions, suggested details, or showed concern in specific directions, patients began to imagine scenes. Those imagined scenes slowly hardened into memories, not because people were lying, but because imagination and memory use the same neural pathways. So what began as therapeutic exploration turned into narrative creation. Patients described rituals, symbols, sacrifices, and hidden tunnels. And once a few stories existed, they began to spread. Daycare workers were accused. Parents were accused. Teachers were accused. Lives were destroyed. Careers ended. Families were torn apart. People went to prison, all without physical evidence. Because in the court of public opinion, emotion is evidence. Fear is evidence. Confidence is evidence. The panic fed on itself. The media amplified it. Talk shows hosted it. News programs repeated it. Every retelling made it feel more real. Every new accusation validated the last one. It became unthinkable to question it, because questioning it felt like siding with evil. And that's the psychological trap. When a story becomes moralized, it stops being testable. If you doubt it, you are not skeptical. You are suspicious. If you question it, you are not thoughtful. You are complicit. That's how panic becomes immune to correction. Eventually, investigations were launched. Police looked for tunnels. They didn't find any. They searched for networks. They didn't find any. They looked for evidence. They didn't find any. Case after case collapsed. Convictions were overturned. Experts admitted the memory techniques were flawed. The panic faded quietly, without apology, without accountability, but the damage remained. And the lesson is not that people were stupid. They were human. They trusted authority. They trusted emotion. They trusted confidence. They trusted stories that felt protective. And they were afraid. Fear narrows attention. It simplifies the world. It creates villains. It creates urgency. And once fear becomes shared, it becomes reality. Not because it's true, but because it's acted on. The Satanic Panic wasn't about Satan. It was about anxiety. It was about parents afraid for their children. Communities are afraid of losing control. A culture afraid of change. And that fear found a story that could hold it. The story didn't create the fear. The fear created the story. And that's the part that should unsettle us. Because it means the same thing can happen again. Not with Satan, but with whatever shape fear takes next. So the real question is not, how could they believe that? The real question is, what would we believe if we were just as afraid? And how would we know the difference?